The audit of government agencies rumbles on at the National Assembly, and rival parties on Tuesday traded barbs over the Moon Jae-in administration's handling of public safety issues like the recent tainted egg scare. Concerns about Seoul and Washington drifting apart over North Korea also came up, and our Kim Min-ji has this report.
There was no let-up in the back and forth between rival parties as they continued to inspect the activities of the government. On the health and welfare front, they wrangled over the government's handling of the recent contaminated egg scandal and safety concerns over sanitary pads. The ruling party has long said the tainted eggs were the result of inadequate regulations under the previous administration, adding the fact that officials from the past government remain in office is getting in the way of President Moon Jae-in's philosophy of governing. The party also criticized the Food Safety Ministry for submitting data that was incorrect.
This constitutes interference with the audit, and they are underestimating the National Assembly, which represents the people, and underestimating the minister himself. I ask that the relevant officials be held responsible.
The opposition pointed to alleged missteps by the current head of the Food Safety Ministry, blaming him for the poor handling of the situation, and saying that the ministry has lost the trust of the people.
3 types of endocrine disrupting chemicals were detected in sanitary pads that were not on the list of inspection. Submit the data stating why this was left out of the inspection.
At the Foreign Affairs Committee, where an overseas audit is taking place at the Korean Embassy in Washington, rival lawmakers dug in on their differences over countermeasures against North Korea's provocations. The ruling party called for dialogue, while the opposition parties raised concerns that Washington and Seoul are moving in different directions in terms of North Korea policy. Tensions have run high, with North Korea continuing its provocations and exchanging harsh words with the U.S., sparking fears of war. Ambassador An Oh-young brushed off speculation about a rift in bilateral relations, stressing that the goal of the Trump administration's sanctions and pressure is to deal with the North Korea issue peacefully. The rival parties also clashed in other committees over issues such as what former President Park Geun-hye was doing in the hours after the country's worst maritime disaster in 2014. Also at issue, the weather agency's inability to detect North Korea's nuclear test with speed and accuracy, and alleged hiring irregularities at the Financial Supervisory Service. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.